As this new day unfolds before you, understand that peace is not something to be chased. It is something to be remembered, something to be summoned, something to be welcome. Right here, right now, as you awaken to this sacred moment, allow yourself to remember who you truly are, an expression of infinite intelligence, worthy of a life that flows with ease, presence, and serenity. The world may rush, others may scatter their energy in 100 directions, but you are choosing differently. You are choosing to enter this day as a conscious creator, not a passive reactor. You are aligning your breath, your thoughts, your energy with a signal of coherence, of calm, of divine order. And as you do, the quantum field responds, not with randomness, but with precision, not with chaos, but with a mirror that reflects your inner world. The more you choose peace before the evidence of peace surrounds you, the faster peace arrives, because the field does not respond to what you want, it responds to what you are. And today, you are the embodiment of peace. You speak it, you feel it, you live it. You radiate it from your chest as you breathe, from your heart as it beats, from your mind as it imagines a reality that is calm, secure, and deeply satisfying. Each affirmation you whisper is a code, unlocking a deeper memory of your true state. I am safe. I am still. I am still. I am connected. I am in flow. The more you affirm, the more you rewire. The more you repeat, the more you become. You are no longer living from the unconscious patterns of yesterday. You are living from a conscious creation of today. You are tuning into the signal of peace so clearly, so consistently, that it becomes magnetic. Watch how people, experiences, and synchronicities begin to match your new vibration. This is not magic. It is mastery. It is physics. When you feel peace ahead of time, before the conditions arise, you collapse time and attract those very conditions faster. So breathe. Feel your body. Sink into the knowing that there is nothing missing. There is no lack. There is no danger in this now. All is well. And if thoughts try to convince you otherwise, gently return to your center. You are not your thoughts. You are the one observing them. You are the stillness beneath the waves. Beneath the waves. The space between the sounds. The light behind the story. From this elevated space, you do not need to chase, prove, or force anything. You trust. You allow.
You receive.
That is the art of true creation. That is the power of a peaceful being. And today, you are embodying that power with grace, confidence, and clarity. Walk into this day with your chest open and your heart calm, knowing that you are creating a reality that reflects the harmony you have cultivated within. Welcome the day, not as something to survive, but as something to celebrate. The reality you live in is not solely shaped by external events or circumstances. It is a direct reflection of your internal landscape. Your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and energetic patterns form the foundation upon which your outer world is constructed. When the inner world is filled with clarity, intention, and elevated emotions, the external world naturally aligns to mirror that coherence. If the mind is chaotic, reactive, and driven by fear or limitation, the environment responds accordingly, presenting experiences that reinforce those inner states. True transformation begins when you recognize that your inner dialogue, your focus, and your emotional frequency are constantly sending signals into the field of possibilities, attracting people, situations, and outcomes that match your vibration. Every thought you think carries energy, and every emotion you feel holds a frequency. When these two align harmoniously, they become a powerful creative force. By consciously choosing thoughts that affirm peace, abundance, love, and empowerment, and by emotionally embodying those states before the evidence shows up, you begin to shift your outer experience. Life responds to who you are being on the inside. The more you take responsibility for your internal state, the more power you reclaim over your external world. Meditation, mindfulness, and self-awareness are tools that help you design a coherent inner environment. This is not about controlling the outside world, but mastering your inner one so fully that the external must reorganize itself to match. When you see beauty, you create more of it. When you feel gratitude, you invite more blessings. The world is not happening to you. It is responding to you. It is responding to you. Your inner world is not a hidden place. It is the control center of your destiny. Change your internal state and your reality cannot help but follow. Present moment awareness is the gateway to accessing the full potential of consciousness. It is the space where time dissolves, distractions fade, and the true self emerges without distortion. When the mind is not tangled in memories of the past or anxieties about the future, it begins to witness life as it is, vibrant, alive, and full of intelligence. In the present moment, the body and mind are in the same place, creating coherence, clarity, and connection to something greater. This state allows for the alignment of thought, feeling, and action, making the creative process more deliberate and effective. Being fully present disengages habitual patterns that were formed in unconscious states. When awareness is placed in the now, neural networks tied to fear, guilt, and regret weaken, and new pathways of peace, purpose, and possibility begin to form. The present moment carries an energy of completeness. Nothing is missing here. It is the field where the mind stops analyzing and begins experiencing. In this space, one can feel the heart beating, the breath flowing, and the aliveness of simply existing. This state is not passive, it is the foundation of conscious creation. When you anchor yourself in presence, you are more likely to make choices that reflect your highest self, rather than reacting from old programming. From this grounded awareness, you become more attuned to synchronicities, insights, and subtle shifts in energy that guide you toward desired outcomes. Instead of waiting for life to happen, you become an active participant in its unfolding. Through this deep awareness, you are reminded that peace, clarity, and transformation do not exist in a distant future. They are available right now. With each breath, you return to the truth that all of your power lives in this singular moment. Elevated emotions such as gratitude, love, joy, freedom, inspiration, and compassion carry a higher energetic frequency that interacts directly with the quantum field. These emotions are not just feelings. They are powerful vibrational signals that influence what you attract and experience in your reality. When the body and mind are aligned in a heightened emotional state, the heart becomes more coherent and the brain shifts into patterns of clarity and order. This harmony between heart and brain creates a magnetic field around the body, broadcasting energy that aligns with similar frequencies in the environment. When you sustain elevated emotions, you begin to influence matter rather than be influenced by it. The body responds as if the experience you're feeling has already occurred, and the subconscious mind accepts this emotion as evidence of a new reality forming. The more you practice feeling elevated emotions without needing external conditions to trigger them, the more you collapse time and draw the desired outcome closer. Gratitude, for instance, tells the body that the future event is already happening, making you a vibrational match for that future. Love opens the heart, allowing deeper access to intuitive guidance and creative flow. Joy signals the body to produce chemicals that support healing and regeneration. These emotions are not dependent on external success. Rather, they are tools to create it. When you wake up in the morning and rehearse a future filled with elevated emotional states, you prime your nervous system to experience that reality before it arrives. Over time, these feelings become familiar, the brain builds new neural connections, and the body becomes conditioned to live in a new state of being. Your reality then reshapes itself to mirror that elevated internal environment. Feelings are not reactions, they are instructions to the universe. Mental rehearsal and intention setting are powerful practices that rewire the brain and condition the body to a new future before it physically manifests. When you mentally rehearse an ideal scenario, whether it's a peaceful morning, a meaningful interaction, or a successful outcome, you activate the same neural networks that would fire if the event were actually happening. The brain does not distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. It begins to map out the new possibilities, creating a neurological blueprint for the future. By setting a clear intention, you give your mind a direction and your body a target. Intention carries the informational content, while elevated emotion provides the energy needed to carry that intention into the quantum field. The combination of thought and feeling is the formula for transformation. Through repetition, the imagined experience becomes familiar, and the body begins to respond as if the future is already here. This signals to the subconscious that the change is not only possible, but inevitable. Practicing mental rehearsal each morning primes your awareness to notice opportunities aligned with your intention throughout the day. It enhances focus, reduces reactivity, and aligns your decisions with your desired future. Intention setting also shifts your identity. Rather than being a victim of circumstance, you become a conscious creator. This daily act of design moves you out of survival mode and into creation mode. When you rehearse with emotional conviction, The body experiences the event in the now, and the brain starts wiring itself to think, act, and feel like that future version of you. This process, done consistently, aligns your inner world with your desired outer reality, making it easier for synchronicities to unfold. You are not just imagining a better life. You are instructing your biology to live it ahead of time. Affirmations rewire neural pathways by intentionally introducing new thought patterns that override limiting beliefs stored in the subconscious mind. Each time an affirmation is spoken or repeated mentally with emotional presence, it signals the brain to create new synaptic connections. These connections form the basis of new identities and behaviors. The brain is neuroplastic, meaning it changes in response to experience, and affirmations act as repeated mental experiences that direct the brain to fire in a new, specific order. When you say, "I am worthy, I am calm," or "I am aligned with my purpose," you're not just speaking words, you're programming the nervous system with a new set of instructions. Repetition is essential because the subconscious mind learns through consistent exposure. Share. The more you repeat an affirmation, especially when paired with elevated emotions like gratitude or confidence, the more deeply it's encoded into your biology. Over time, old self-sabotaging patterns begin to lose their strength as the brain prefers the more frequently activated pathways. Affirmations also influence the chemical state of the body. Thoughts create feelings, and feelings produce hormones. Positive affirmations trigger neurotransmitters that support well-being, such as dopamine and serotonin, reinforcing the new internal state. When spoken during meditation or moments of quiet presence, affirmations bypass analytical resistance and enter the subconscious more easily. This process is not about wishful thinking. It is about conditioning the body to think, feel, and act in alignment with the desired reality before it manifests. When the mind and body accept a new truth through repeated affirmations, they begin to reflect that truth in behaviors, decisions, and perceptions. Eventually, what began as a simple phrase becomes a lived experience. The internal dialogue shifts, the identity transforms, and the external world mirrors the new frequency being broadcast from within. The heart-brain coherence principle is the process of creating harmony between the emotional and cognitive centers of the body. When the heart and brain operate in sync, they form a coherent signal that influences the nervous system, hormones, and even genetic expression. This state is measurable through patterns in heart rate variability, showing a smooth, ordered rhythm when the individual experiences elevated emotions such as gratitude, compassion, or appreciation. In this coherent state, the brain receives clear, organized signals from the heart, which enhances mental clarity, emotional stability, and intuitive intelligence. The heart contains its own complex neural network, sometimes referred to as the heart brain, which communicates with the central brain through neurological, biochemical, and electromagnetic pathways. When the signals from the heart are chaotic due to stress, anxiety, or negative emotions, the brain responds with incoherence, impairing cognitive function, problem-solving, and decision-making. But when coherence is achieved, the entire system becomes more efficient and aligned, leading to optimal health, creativity, and performance. Breathing techniques and focused attention on the heart area, combined with intentional feelings of love or gratitude, are powerful ways to enter coherence. In this state, the body experiences reduced inflammation, improved immune function, and hormonal balance. Heart-brain coherence is not only a biological alignment, but also a spiritual attunement. It brings the self into a unified field of presence, where intention is amplified, and the signal broadcast into the quantum field becomes more consistent and powerful. Living in coherence means responding to life from a place of balance, not reactivity. It cultivates resilience, heightens awareness, and expands access to new possibilities. When practiced daily, this principle becomes a way of being, transforming the way we think, feel, and act. It is the doorway to deeper connection, with ourselves, with others, and with the universal intelligence that governs all life. Surrendering to the field is the act of releasing personal control and trusting in the intelligence of the universe to orchestrate outcomes in alignment with your highest good. It means letting go of rigid expectations, timelines, and the need to force results through willpower. The field, which is the invisible energetic realm that holds all potential, responds not to struggle but to trust and coherence. When you surrender, you acknowledge that there is a wisdom far greater than the analytical mind, a wisdom that operates beyond logic, beyond fear, and beyond the limits of the known. This surrender is not passive. It is a conscious choice to align with flow rather than resistance. It is a vibrational act of allowing where you no longer identify with lack, urgency, or separation. Instead, you embody the emotions of already having, already being, already becoming. In this state, the body relaxes, the heart opens, and the mind quiets. Your energy becomes ordered and magnetic. You signal to the quantum field that you are no longer trying to survive, but ready to create from wholeness. Surrender involves trust in the unseen and a deep faith that the right circumstances, people, and opportunities will emerge without force. It invites you to detach from how your intention will manifest and focus instead on who you are becoming. The field begins to organize around your inner coherence, drawing toward you realities that match your elevated state. Miracles, synchronicities, and breakthroughs arise not from control, but from this sacred release. When you surrender, you move from effort to alignment, from resistance to receiving. The more you practice surrendering to the field, the more you become a participant in a dance with the universe, one where life meets you exactly where you are and responds to your inner transformation with divine precision.